To get yourself satisfied, or it's you to satisfy the person.
So that is the main issue. We don't have information about our land.
Actually, sir, they experience on ourselves.
Had he gone for that experience, no, the story would have been different.
I was not talking about the government. I was talking about your role. What is your role to solving their problems?
Highlighting the problem is very easy.
These are the issues related to agriculture, importing of agriculture machines.
Why the government is not giving the solution instead of subsidy?
Can I, sir?
No.
The solution is only dam.
If you don't have canals or don't have water, you can rear animals there.
As he is not ready to listen to him, or he is unable now to make him listen to him, so the result is failure. That the whole nation is suffering.
I think this problem cannot be solved because in our
Just connect the load. Okay.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Dearest young scholars, as you know that it's our 5th presentation session today, and the person we are going to listen to is none else but our beloved Ahmad Ali, and the topic he is going to speak on is
issues of agriculture sector.
he will deliver a speech on the topic for
2 minutes. So as you know, the 2-minute duration is over, we are required to ask questions. Please.
Assalamu alaikum.
Right.
Because we are dependent on agriculture sector. So today I am going to present the issues which agriculture sector is facing nowadays. First of all, I will discuss irrigation problem. The land almost 80% fertile in our area and in our district Khushab.
But
There is no proper water system. For example, in our area, in the previous days, Canal Irrigation Department gave water for 20 days and they stopped the water for 10 days. But now they give water for 10 days and they stop water for 20 days. So this is the big problem because farmers are totally dependent on the canal system. Diesel prices are going very up. Nowadays, diesel prices are almost at 280 rupees. So it is very difficult for farmer to use two wells. Two wells also make erosion of lands. This is a big problem. So government should make dams to facilitate their farmers. The farmers, they are totally involved in farming and they have no time for their children, and their children needs good education facilities, and there is no such a facilities in our villages. So most of the villagers are shifting towards cities and they leave their occupations. So government should give facilities to the farmers in villages. And the machinery prices are very high. There is no international exposure. For example, our farmers are cultivating crops on their
conventional
methods, and the average is very low as compared to the other developed countries. As you all know that our Pakistan stands on the 7th position in world ranking in agriculture sector. And our rice is very popular and famous in the world. Especially our district Khushab, Tehsil Kaidabad rice is very popular in Pakistan. You all know that there is no awareness from government. So government should take steps to improve the irrigation system, to give facilities to the farmers in villages, so that coming generation also take interest in farming occupation. As we all see that our young generation have no interest in farming, so this is a bad sign for our country, because all the people are running for business. Even the farmers are also running behind business because there is no profit in agriculture nowadays. So government should give facilities to the farmer by reducing the diesel prices, by giving machineries, and giving a person who has an international exposure
to facilitate
or instruct the farmers. That's it.
Thank you. Before we move towards the question answer session, we are very lucky to have an expert in this field.
I mean to say that
The person who has the formal education as far as agriculture sector is concerned. I'm sure you can guess whom I'm talking about. Mr. Fahad. So Mr. Fahad, could you please stand up? Move forward. Get closer. Please. Ahmed Ali, your main focus was on Khushab or overall Pakistan?
On Khushab.
Khushab, you heard his talk. Any addition or deletion or any correction or refinement? Your knowledge as far as that his talk is concerned. Please.
As my brother Ahmed Ali Sheikh said, that farmer facing many problems relevant to irrigation department and machinery department. But on the other hand, government is providing loan so then they can facilitate farmer. They also giving subsidy to the farmer on machinery and fertilizer, but they are not taking facility from the government. They are not well aware about these facilities. So the farmers should have some education about it, information about how they get loan from the government and about on their machinery and fertilizer. And another thing that you are talking about traditional irrigation, traditional farming, but in our country there are a lot of students, graduation students who have knowledge about agriculture department. They are going to farmer, but when they go to farmer, they said they have more knowledge than you, so they break the confidence of students, so they are not like to go to the farmer. In nowadays we can see that wheat season and University of Agriculture Faisalabad is campaigning how do we increase the growth of wheat crops. But farmers are not taking interest in that department. Farmers should take interest and gain knowledge from the graduation student because they have more knowledge and they how to increase the growth of wheat production.
So we can say that in this context, your point of view is different from that of Mr. Ahmed Ali. Great.
Can I add something?
Yeah, why not?
It's the responsibility of government to aware the farmers about the subsidies and other loans.
Yeah.
There is not such awareness in farmers.
Yeah.
Therefore, they are not aware of the subsidies.
True.
My brother Fahad is talking about wheat production, and the students of agriculture, they have no practical knowledge.
True.
My friend is in a medical company. He has a bachelor's in agriculture field. He come to us and say that I am agriculturalist and I will help you. I follow him and I lost almost 4 to 6 lakhs in 2 months.
Oh, sad. You can say the graduates, with the university is producing, that though are very poor,
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Because they have no practical knowledge.
Practical knowledge. Would you like to respond to him? That
Some of students they are not interested in getting information. They are just saying that they are agriculturists and they don't have practical knowledge about that. On the other hand, there you can see lot of agriculture students who providing information to the farmer and they gaining lot of production from them. So I disagree with Sheikh.
So your observation speaks something different. Could you please give some example, that the person that he is that the university graduate and he gave some idea to some farmer and there was more yield due to his that advice. Over here he was talking about one of his friends that who advised him to do something and he did that, but the result was a huge loss. Please.
As my agriculturist, I given information to the farmer and he act upon my advice and he gained lot of production from them. One main thing is that we are still doing traditional cultivation.
Yeah.
That is the main issue. There are a lot of modern technologies, but farmers are not taking interest in doing that.
Yeah.
In our villages, there is no developed machinery or new technologies.
Yeah.
So therefore, there is no labor. One of agriculturalists also come in winter.
Yeah.
And say that you cultivate different vegetables and roses.
True.
So I plan to cultivate roses. When I call for labor, there is no labor available in our country, in our villages.
Yeah.
Another problem is that there is no nearby city where we sell rose. You can say rose plant. We can pluck flowers from rose plant, and there are too much
thorns.
So therefore, it's very difficult for labor.
Yeah, skilled labor is required, but we have no such skilled labor we can hire.
And there is no nearby city where we can sell our rose plants.
You can say demand of all these you're talking about in our area now. Any addition?
He was talking about the production of wheat or anything, and he lost his money.
Yeah.
But main thing is that we don't
have
information about the land on which we are cultivating the agriculture or vegetable products.
Okay.
We first have to check what is the disabilities of our
Yeah.
soil. So if we know that there is some difference in growth of phosphorus or any other compound,
Yeah.
so we have to fill it.
Yeah.
So that is the main issue. We don't have information about our land. So we must need to check for our land before cultivation.
I give all the essential nutrients to the land.
Yeah.
The shop named Nawa Savera in
Yeah,
Khushab, he
true.
give all the nutrients to me, and I use all the nutrients.
But the
And
result was
I think I almost seeds of almost 1 lakh.
okay.
And I think that was not actual product, real product.
Okay.
They deceived me in giving
True.
seeds.
Real very interesting talk is there. What does it mean? Seasons are changing, the climate is changing, but
We didn't change our machinery accordingly. And same is the case with our methods and methodology.
and you said that if some changes, that proposed, by the young people, I mean, that as he is mashallah, he is graduate, but what's happening? That idea cannot be implemented, it cannot be executed, because there's no availability of the skilled labor. And if something is, that grown over there in the area, what happens, that there's no market of, the
Yes.
market for that.
Yes.
And let's go for the question. You want to say, yeah.
He was talking about that he's given all the nutrients of the fed soil. We are physically healthy, but inner we are not healthy. There is labs, proper lab for treatment of soil.
Yeah.
But one main thing is that we have way of collecting fertile land from the land. One
Yeah.
thing that we have to collect from fourth corner of the
Yeah,
area,
that area, yeah.
and one from front main
Center, yeah.
So after giving to laboratory, they will tell us that there is nutrients deficiency and not.
True.
So we have to fulfill that.
I cultivate that crop in the area which is best in our opinion.
Yeah.
And all the people living in there and who cultivates that land advise me that this is the best area where all crops are grown.
Okay. What I could understand from your talk
Is that when you were growing crops by using conventional methods, there were higher yields.
But as you followed, that the pieces of advice of your friend, so-called agriculturalist, the young graduate,
Yes, sir.
the yield was very poor.
Yes,
So
sir.
that is.
Sir, actually there is no
That's very
international.
interesting now.
This is the way to discuss the things. Great, mashallah. I would love to see your active participation in the discussion. It's you to stand up at your turn.
And you will be at freedom to speak for hours, no issue at all. It's you to get yourself satisfied, or it's you to satisfy the person, including me.
Sir, actually there is no international exposure at our stage and in our villages. I will give here an example of Jahangir Treen. He was a banker. He resigned from the job and decided to do business in agriculture. He left Pakistan for the USA for higher studies. He did his MBA and returned to the motherland with international exposure and a broader vision in business. He planned to work in the agriculture sector with the scientific approach. He designed the entire working scheme. He applied purely scientific methods and methodology. He started using the latest machinery and tools, the result of which is nothing but agriculture revolution in the areas he has worked so far.
The barren lands where there were waterlogging and salinity, or there was unavailability of water. It's his scientific approach which has converted the barren lands into fertile ones, giving very high yields. MashaAllah.
It was he who introduced cypress tree in our area.
True. I don't
and
know.
we all the people living in backward area take too much profit from that
True.
crop.
Yeah.
There are many crops which he cultivated in land like this.
Yeah. Actually, his point was if the farmers they have international exposure, what does it mean? They should get benefit from the people that who have international exposure, and we are living in the 21st century, and we can get benefit from different devices, from internet by using this, that Zoom, by using that WhatsApp, and so many things are there. We can get ourselves educated, at that international level. As that exposure is there, and if we follow that, there shall be more yield. What I could understand.
But the main thing is that they have to follow the agriculturists because they have more knowledge from them.
Yeah.
You can see there are most institute, NARC, National Agriculture Research Institute, more than 5 and 6 agriculture department in Pakistan. But the farmer still saying that we have more knowledge than you. You are not much knowledge as our. And for if we go to farmer that you are using DAP, diamonophosphate, so you can replace it as from DAPR because it's better for your farmer. But still they are saying that you don't have knowledge.
This is one of the negative behaviors we all as a nation, unfortunately, knowingly or unknowingly, demonstrate wherever we are.
See, those who are seniors, they are not ready now to change themselves.
I think this is due to either inferiority complex or superiority complex.
And it is some sort of a mindset. So the farmers who have been cultivating the land now for years, for decades, they think that they have more knowledge. And the one who is coming from the university, that having a formal education in agriculture, he thinks that the farmer is uneducated, he has no degree, so he is superior. So this is a fight between the sense of that superiority or inferiority.
So, who's at loss? What's at loss?
The country is at loss, the area is at loss. So if both of them they sit together, and if they get rid of this sense, whether that is inferiority or that is superiority, what will happen? They will be able to conclude something which can as a result benefit the whole area.
It's my understanding that it's happening everywhere.
If you visit the court, the senior lawyer that is not ready to listen to the junior. It's quite possible that the junior shall be having more understanding. Senior has experience,
but he mightn't be as competent as a young lawyer is.
And same is the case with the education department. See, I am now that 50 years old, and if some young teacher comes to me and tells me something, and I should welcome. I may be wrong, And same is the case with any other field, But here's the problem, The area we are living in, unfortunately, it has been the land of slaves. The land of slaves, I would say, We are not ready to think, that on or no. The question, please. The first question. Who will be asking the first question? There are two people standing in front of you. I'm the third one, but I'm not going to give you a response. I'm here not to make comment. Yeah, but stand up, please.
As you have mentioned, irrigation problems in this area. Is there any variety of crops which require less amount of water, or you can say irrigation intervals, as compared to other variety of crops? And if yes, can you adopt to cultivate that sort of crops which require less amount of water?
This is a great question. The man was talking about that there is actually the problem as far as watering the plants or watering the crop is concerned due to the shortage of water. So the question is that is there any crop which that if we cultivate that over here in our area by keeping this
unavailability or shortage of water in view?
I think what could understand. Please.
In our area, there are two types of land. One is fertile lands and other are infertile or desert lands. According to my knowledge, because we are cultivating crops transitional crops, so there is no crop which is cultivated without water or on less water. On deserts, we can say that there are peanut crops and you can say other grains which can be cultivated without water. They are totally dependent on rainfall.
You want to add
Yes.
that, please?
There are many crops like mustard, canola. They can need less water as compared to wheat and rice. But if you say that there is shortage of water, we can adopt drip irrigation system.
So the area which we have over here, the land which does it support that?
Yes, sir. You can see that in Nurpur Thal there are a lot of people doing tunnel farming also as well, because it needs less amount of water as compared to wheat and rice, because rice need more water than wheat. So people are doing tunnel farming. You can see watermelon before the season, that bring people with tunnel farming.
Please.
So tunnel farming is very expensive. or farmers cannot afford that type
Yeah.
of farming here in. If government give some facilities or some subsidies, so we should try. But nowadays it's very difficult, because if I talk about you can say rice crop that is now ripen, that's need almost every time water. So it's very difficult to use drip irrigation system, because we are not aware about the new crops. We can use drip irrigation system for vegetables or other sorts of crops.
True.
So we are not cultivating vegetables and other types of you can say crop. So therefore drip irrigation system is not well known in our.
You asked a question now. There was a very simple question, and you got to know that the answer, know that having a lot of ideas. What could you understand from now that the talk, the response of these two people? Please.
That there is a variety of crops which require less amount of water, but it also depend on the nature of soil.
Yeah.
That it has the required composition for the growth of the respective vegetable or crop.
Okay.
And they also mentioned some other methods like tunnel cultivation, and that there are options.
Yeah.
But it also depends on the preference of a farmer.
Okay.
That what options he wants to adopt.
Okay. So your response, know that the points which know that these two people have shared with you. Your response, your opinion about the talk we heard now. As far as your question is concerned.
I noticed that in some areas there are no irrigation facilities like canal water or the people are relying just on the rainwater.
Yeah.
And they are they have good yields like in respect of wheat and some other crops.
Okay, barley is there, maize is there, and so on. No?
So what is the main difference? That this area requires irrigation even for wheat crops at regular intervals.
Do you agree with her point of view?
Sir, people of our ancestors grow crops in the deserts, in fertile land.
Yeah.
But now it's very difficult, because the land has no power like that, because they are not strong as they are in our era of our ancestors.
Yeah.
So now it's very difficult to cultivate crops from that land. And my brother Fahad was talking about canola. That crop also needs water in less quantity, but it needs water.
But see the point I want to know. So sorry, beta. Keep your point in mind. See, he was talking about that the land which used to be that cultivated by our forefathers, that it used to be fertile, but now it has become infertile.
Yes, sir.
Do you agree? If you
Yes,
agree,
sir.
so what's the reason now?
Sir, I am agree with this, because with time to time people are just growing wheat and crop. They're not growing that sorghum or like an canola, which is less wheat deficient, because nowadays we are using heavy crops like wheat and rice, and with time to time the essential component of the soil is going to less, decreasing.
Excellent. And the point which you wanted to add, what was that?
He's saying that short water, I am agree with that.
Yeah, you agree.
Short of water, but not much as compared to wheat and rice.
Water is required, but it's not in that quantity
Yes, sir.
as that the other
Rice,
crops need. Do you have some other question to ask? Please.
There is a concept of our ancestors that we should switch the type of crops we are cultivating. For example, if 1 year we cultivated wheat crop in a specific soil or land, on the other year try to switch try to cultivate another type of crop so that it can balance the soil conditions.
I am agree with her. I already mentioned this point. This is one big crops and one is small crops which require more nutrients. There are two seasons. If we cultivate one season wheat, then other season we need to crop any other like sorghum or mustard or canola, because they need less essential amount of from the soil.
You are of the point that we should try to cultivate two different crops having the different quantity of consumption of water. Your intake.
land also needs some other taste. For example, if we only eat meat and don't taste vegetable, so it's very difficult to survive for us. So same is the case with lands. So lands also want to change their taste for better protection.
So whatever the ancestors, the forefathers used to believe in, it is a scientific fact. No?
Yes.
It's a established truth. No, excellent. Another point. Thank you, Osama.
You mentioned in your presentation that our farmers don't have awareness about the modern techniques of farming. How can the government provide the awareness to farmers?
Love you, my son. What a question. You are making complaint that the conventional farmers are not ready to listen to the graduates. And you are of the point of view that we listen to the educate, but it causes or it results in loss. See, what is observation now that the conventional farmers need some change. And what should the people do as far as the graduates are concerned? That they need some skill, some expertise, some knowledge about the people they are going to educate. So this awareness, how can it be provided to the farmers as far as government is concerned, from the government? Please.
Sir, as you see every day on the television, there is advertisement regarding loan. So everyone can see that their government is providing loans. So farmer, they are not interested, that not the fault of government. And if you go to buy any fertilizer, there is also token on it, and you can see that government is giving subsidy to them.
Advertisements are over there on television, that subsidies are there, each and everything is there, but in spite of that, result is zero. The question is that how can we develop this awareness among the farmers? This is the point.
Sir, as you see that in every district there is an extension worker and an extension officer. So he is going to every farmer and even arranging meeting for them, so that they deliver the message of the government. So it's about to farmer that he will take facility or not.
So any idea from your side that how can that this awareness be ensured among the farmers?
So the farmer should listen to the person sent by the government, and they should apply the modern techniques. That's how they can increase their yields.
But they're not listening. See, you are saying the same thing, that the conventional farmer should listen to the experts, the experts or the people who know about that field, and the government is paying them. People are not listening. This is the question that how can we ensure this awareness among the farmers? Anybody else?
Because the government convey that their message to that person, and the interaction with the farmer, the person who had already interaction with the farmer, because the farmer already taking the fertiles and other sources, the other seeds from that person, and he is the appointed by some private company, and he have some relation with the private company, and he is giving that fertilizer to the farmer. Government should point that person not from that area, but if that area, the person should be one who's sincere to his field, but not sincere with the privatization companies to sell their products to the farmers.
So that's the reason that the farmer is not ready to listen to him or her seriously. Agree. Please, you want to say something?
Sir, I would like to add some of the more points why the farmers are not listening to the government. First of all, their mindset. They are still following the methods of their forefathers, and they don't want to change it. And as it's a natural phenomenon, is that change to something is not easy. And the second thing is they are not educated. And they have the fear that if they follow the modern techniques, and if the technique didn't work, they will lose that yield also that they are getting from their traditional method.
Now you are highlighting that what are the reason that the farmers are not listening to these that change agent. I would say the change agent. See, because the farmer is that he loves to follow the tradition of his forefathers. First thing. Second, you said that he is not ready to listen to the change agent because he is illiterate, he is uneducated. My question is different now. The question which you asked actually, that how can we convince, how we can develop this awareness among these farmers, those who are uneducated, the farmers who was following the conventional style. I mean, they are following the way their forefathers used to do. So the question, how can we develop this, that awareness among any idea
Yes,
from
sir.
your side? I will make you speak, after him. The question is which Mr. Sama asked, really very impressive question. That how can we make the farmers aware of using these latest techniques? How can we convince the farmers to leave the conventional methods or ways which are not resulting in more yields or products now? That is a question. Please.
Sir, actually, the government employees don't visit us. Only medical rappers or fertilizer rappers visit us.
That is the point you raised.
Yes, sir. So if government employees visits us and they give us awareness and he talk with results, then we will convince.
Yeah, results. As
Yes,
you
sir.
were talking about Jahangir Khan Tareen,
Yes, sir.
that the result, that if some person that consult Jahangir Tareen, and if he gives some suggestion,
Yes, sir.
if he gives some piece of advice, that it shall be, the people shall be ready to follow,
Yes, sir.
because he has so many things to show. And the representative of some company,
Yes, sir.
when he visits some farmers, so he is there to sell his products, the products of the company he is the employee of. So the farmers are not that serious in listening to that person. So that really, and this is a scientific solution. Your idea.
Sir, there are many companies, working companies, but multinational company, they borrow one piece of land from the farmer and they arrange a meeting. They will show how they do modernization techniques on the land. So when time to time they show everything, how they cultivate, how they're using pesticide and everything, and at the result they see they produce more yield than the farmer. So with time they convince and they can try to buy these products.
Sorry. Now, if you are going to sell some products, just show it over there. Make some experiment. Show there that in front of the people. That this is the thing, this is the method. If you do that, if you use that, if you apply that, this is the result. And by giving practical examples, you can convince the farmers. And see. No, this is actually some sort of a solution. By this way, by doing all these things, we can convince the conventional farmers to leave the conventional methods, and follow the scientific ones, the latest one, the new ones, by showing something, some solid things, to convince them. You want to say something?
Yes, government employees are actually taking rest at their homes.
Yeah.
They know that there is nobody who asks about our duties.
Yeah.
As nobody, if that government employee visits us and give us awareness about different things, I also ask some medical rapper that we will give lands to you and you make experiments here and give results to us. And if that results if you are successful in your results, we will adopt that method.
Excellent. And it makes sense. So if I tell you something, that do this, you will be qualifying, that you will be scoring more bands and IELTS. If you do that and you can't, what does it mean? That the idea which I gave, it is not workable. It should never be adopted. And if I give you some idea that if you follow that, you will be scoring more bands. You do that and you score more bands. What does it mean? That idea works. So how simple that is, that gives some practical example, and the solution which these two people gave, and the solution, the point you are talking about, and really it makes sense. And the question was very valid now. Such a logical question Mr. Sam asked now, that how can we convince now? And what is the reason now that? Now what should be done in order to convince the conventional farmers now? And these people have given some ideas. Anybody else who can add to this point now, that how can we spread this awareness among the conventional farmers now that they need to change their methods, they need to change their inputs.
In order to take more output,
they will have to change their inputs now.
There is no sufficient machinery in our areas.
Yeah.
Because you can say new crops need new technology.
Yeah.
So we have not such technologies in our area.
Engineers. Who is engineer over here? Is there an engineer in the class? You are. Know that. See again, the quality of education, the quality of engineers, which that we are producing now. How poor? Now that the person has done engineering, and he spends, that 4 years, that government spends a lot on some engineer. As he comes out, so he is running for the job. For what? Teaching Islamia, teaching English, teaching bio. What does it mean? Or he is there running after the job for Tehsildar, Naib Tehsildar. So what's that? Whenever engineer comes out, so he should go for engineering, that. And if that culture is developed, so this issue can be solved. What's the issue? That new crops are there, new ideas are there, but we need machinery. And the engineer who are over there in our country who can develop that sort of machinery, but they are not. And if we import that from other countries, it's expensive. Very expensive. Now we don't have purchase power, and government is not helping us because this is the most neglected the sector, agriculture sector. Approximately 68% population know that their source of income is agriculture. See, non-serious behavior of the government in all senses, as far as production of the engineers are concerned, as far as production of the change agents in the sector of agriculture, I mean the agriculture graduates. Poor performance. Yeah, anything else?
No, sir.
Thank you. The question, please.
Sir, my question is, as agriculture and the farmer are the backbone of our nation and its economy.
Yeah.
So farmer earnings are totally depend upon cultivation. Why farmers always feel difficulty after cultivation and harvesting in terms of cost? Because government purchased their crops in very low cost and sold them in very high cost.
Wait, before you respond to this question, I will share my story, a real story. Last year, on my way to Leia, I, along with my friends Mr. Salimullah Tivana, Mr. Kifayatullah Danish and Mr. Muhammad Ali Tivana, had one night stay at Kulur Court, Bakkar. It was Mr. Abdul Rauf who received us at Sarwar Family Restaurant, where we had dinner, and later we were taken to Islamabad restaurant to have tea. What a quality of dinner it was, thanks to Mr. Abdul Rauf. Later, as we felt sleepy, Mr. Abdul Rauf took us to a very big but dimly lit house, where all of us, without any further gossips, went to sleep. The next morning, in the morning light, we were astonished to see onions in a huge quantity over there in the lawn of the building. The point: Mr. Abdul Rauf, a highly educated farmer, made us feel sorry for the officially badly neglected and cunningly dodged farmer community. How? Mr. Abdul Rauf said, quote unquote, "The state shall purchase these onions from the farmers at the rate of rupees 13 to 14 per kg. And when the same farmer later will visit the market to buy the same onions, he shall have to buy them at more than rupees 80 per kg." See, one can imagine how the state is crushing its agriculture sector by demoralizing the farmers. See how unlucky the nation is to not see the state utilizing its potentials.
You got the idea? That is the actual point. No, the government is buying it the lowest and that selling that at a very high rate. What does it mean? Government is that earning profit of approximately 70 rupees with 1 kg. Why doesn't government give this back to the farmer? If that is shared equally, minimum equally, what will happen? Yeah, and it will benefit the society. The people will be doing more job. People will be growing that more crops. There will be more farmers. So that I do agree. It's happening.
So total efforts are done by our farmers.
Yeah.
So therefore, we and our next children are going very far from agriculture.
Yeah.
We have land, but we have now no interest in land because of high expenses, and government don't give profit to us.
Excellent.
And the businessmen also don't give profit. For example, at the when the wheat crop is cultivated or is ripened, so at that time the rate was 5,200, and now it's the rate is almost 8,500, I think.
Yeah. Your intake on this.
Sir, main thing is that the farmer don't have storing capacity. If he store that he can buy, he can sell at his own choice. But but on other case that he also need to pay the amount of pesticide to the shopkeeper.
Pesticide later on, what will happen? The government know that agent shall be visiting, know that your storage, and he will be fining you that you are doing hoarding. What a nonsense that is. See, the previous government, I mean the Khan government, no, that was a great step, that there should be no middleman. Why this man directly sells to the government? Why there are so many middlemen in between? That he should visit the office directly, there should be no agent. Sell the product to the government, and the government should be distributing that equally in the whole state.
Sir, also this is the big reason of switching of profession of farming to another profession.
As I told you, 68% people know that are there in this country, that who love to do farming.
Sir, there are also payment issues. Government don't pay payment on time. For example, one of my uncle grows almost 60 to 70 acres of sugar cane, and his payment is in crores. So government should not give payment on time.
Yeah.
And we'll use our resources to take payment from that government.
Sometimes you will have to give the bribery even to the person sitting over there. Even in the government offices over there, at the point where that your even sugar cane is weighed. At the scale point. Now again, he was there at the person who's sitting over there, that in front of the sugar mill. What happens? It's you to give bribe to that person so that that your crop can be entertained first.
Yes, sir. Therefore, we give our crops to the people who are doing business.
Yeah, middleman. Yes, here middleman comes, and it should be discouraged. Please.
Sir, but some president of the farmer organization, they are not sincere with them. They just need their commission, and they don't need any.
Another point is there that if there is some, for example, some board society is there, the farmer society, the farmer body, as it happens over there, even that you can say every labor. For example, if you visit some mill, some factory, so the workers, they will be having their own body,
union,
their own organization, their union. Even though the farmers have the same body, same organization, same society, or same sort of I would say that union. But what happens? They are not sincere. The government know that, or the middleman buys them, bribes them, and the result is zero. Great, please.
Sir, it's the responsibility of our assistant commissioners, which are in our tehsil, that visit particular villages in every month, and they held you can say court there.
Yeah.
And ask about the problems which the farmers are facing nowadays.
And again, another issue there. The executive of the state, assistant commissioner, deputy commissioner, and these people, again, they are not doing their job professionally. And if some complaint is there, they don't address it. They take it as a chance of having money, bribery, and their middlemen are there. That even the middleman of assistant commissioner is there. That who forces the farmer to get money, the illegal money,
yes,
the ill-gotten money, and that ill-gotten money is that it is spent in a negative way. As a result, the system, the agriculture sector, that has collapsed. Please, Kamran.
My question is for Fahad. You are graduated in agriculture. You have a lot of knowledge about agriculture.
Yeah.
So why don't you do farming in a better way with modern techniques? Why are you going to abroad?
So what a logical question.
Dear Fahad, see, whatever you studied during your studies at graduation level, and it seems that there's clarity in your concepts. The question, why don't you yourself venture your clear concepts?
What a question.
If I talk about myself, I have very bad experience about this. I tried to cultivate one sorghum on the field of about 7 acres, but I failed. So for this purpose, I decided and I stopped agriculture.
Then what's the benefit of that education?
But at that time I was studying, I not properly graduated.
So if you rethink about that, and if you do that thing again with some amendments, no?
And my uncle is still doing agriculture in Salah Valley. So I am still giving information about that. And if they need any help,
excellent.
If they need any help,
it makes sense. Yeah.
I am still with them, and I am giving information about that.
So any benefit, no, which your uncle is getting, no, because
yes,
of your advice?
because first they go to work shopkeeper, and he said that you will take this, and they don't know anything about for example, if you go about zinc, there are 3 type of zinc, and they don't know which type of zinc they need. And so when I done graduation, I told them which requirement you have to fulfill.
Actually, sir, they experience on ourselves.
They are causing loss, and no, but not on their own.
No, sir. You can see the tool plaza, Wall Tool Plaza. There first we'll taken on land about 10 murabba. You can say.
Yeah.
We can also did 150 acre of the land, but we can successful in it.
Yeah, you planted something
Yes, sir.
over there. You grew something over there,
Yes, sir.
and it was successful experience. Yeah.
But according to when I try myself, so I failed.
It happens, no, it happens. But actually, what happened? He got disheartened and he left it. He should not have left it, no. He should have continued with that, no. He should have gone for the next experience, no. And I'm sure that had he gone for that experience, no, the story would have been different.
And if someone still want information, I am still giving information to them.
Very good, very good. Come run.
Sir, according to my opinion, if he give good results with modern techniques, then he will be able to convince other farmers.
Yeah, so that's first produce result and then convince. The one who is a successful story, he will never discourage anyone. Please. Over. Thank you. It was an interesting question. Please. Tavish.
Both of you mentioned many problems of farmers, but I want to know that do you have any long-term plan to solve their problems, and which role you can play over there to solve their problems?
Excellent. It's a great question. No, that you highlighted number of problems. Now the question is, is there any solution?
You see, with time to time now university are going to campaign. You see their agriculture students are going everywhere to the farmer, and they're saying that you will have to do this. So they're trying to convince with time to time. So it will need time to convince them.
Yeah.
Actually, everybody here is working for his profit.
Yeah.
No one, for example, Mr. Fahad might join some medical company or some fertilizer company.
Yeah.
And he come to us and say that I am from that company or I am agriculturalist, and follow on our advices. So we should follow his advices, but unfortunately we get lost because the one product has 2 different prices. For example, I bought a spray in rupees 400 to 600, and also bought the same spray from of another company in rupees I think 1400.
Please.
But you both have not answered the question. I want to know.
Actually, government is not sincere with us.
I was not talking about the government. I was talking about your role. What is your role to solving their problems?
Highlighting the problems is very
Yes,
easy.
sir.
Great. Your role. What can you do in order to make the farmers get rid of all this, or in order to convince the government to do what they should do?
Convince them to use technology and solving their water problems and etc. What's your role over there?
I think this problem cannot be solved because in our
Just connect the load. Okay.
because you know about the corruption system of Pakistan. I already told us that
So as the people, they are in power, so they want to establish their
authority
over there in the area.
Yes.
They don't let other farmers know,
Yes, sir.
have their own rights. No,
Yes, sir.
that's the point.
sir,
Yeah. Please, anything else? He says that no change,
According to him.
and he can't play any role. No.
Yes, sir. That's the reason why our youth are not going to.
If you see that Imran Khan can't convince everyone, so how can I?
No doubt, it's a lengthy process, but the things shall get settled. If you study the history of America, that was the worst country in the world. It used to be the colony of that United Kingdom. Do you remember? Yes, sir. But the same countries, they have got rid of all these bad practices which we are suffering from. No, but it doesn't mean that we need that thousands of years to get rid of them. We are, alhamdulillah, on the proper track right now, and the time shall come when the things shall get changed, inshallah. Inshallah. Please, you want to say something? Yeah. Sorry, your answer couldn't be. Your question couldn't be answered.
So I wanted to answer Mr. Fahad. We are not here to convince anybody. We are here to prove them that at that point we are convinced at that thing because of this reason. We are not showing their convincing. We are showing only our convincing or our part that we are convinced at that point because of that reasons.
Yeah.
We can't convince anybody.
If we continue, we can speak on this topic for hours, but as the time is very short now, so I'm going to conclude the session now by making all of you stand one by one. Now, so first the question which you wanted to ask, but it couldn't be asked, first that is the question, and then I will request these people now to have that to speak on that in a systematic way, and not to save the time. Please, the one who couldn't speak, Janelle, what was your question in your mind, please?
Sir, my question is that you said that the farmers facing many problems, and what's your opinion in indoor farming?
Oh, indoor farming, excellent. Outdoor farming, and these people were addressing only the outdoor farming. Love you, Manson. They didn't discuss that indoor farming. Very short, what is indoor farming?
Like kitchen gardening, you can say. So people doing kitchen gardening very easily. They have just to put seed in it and easily can grow the crops or anything.
See,
Sir, because our families are totally dependent on outdoor farming, so we cannot have much experience about indoor farming. So people living in cities are concerned with indoor farming, but the people whose profession is totally farming or are totally linked with agriculture.
That's a great question, really. Please.
In my opinion, the result of both of your presentation was that growth rate is decreasing and problems are increasing day by day.
Yeah.
And it also affects our economy and export rate.
Yeah.
But as you know, few years ago, you know that export of wheat and orange was, our country is one of the top exporter.
Yeah.
But in this situation, the now situation is different. What will your opinion about future? What will future?
That our crops that they started increasing, but the same crop is there, it has gone down, if we make comparison with the previous government and the current government. Yeah, the question, please.
If we continuously use fertilizer, does it affect the fertility of land or soil?
The continuous use of
Yes, it definitely disturbs the fertility of the soil, because there are two types of fertilizer, that is artificial and natural. If you use an artificial, then it definitely spoils the fertile soil, and if you use natural, like wastage of animals, so it will benefit for your soil.
Your observation, your experience.
Yes, actually, the wastage of animals is very beneficial. If how much you put in land, it will create benefit for the land.
Yeah.
But artificial fertilizer are harmful for the land.
Excellent. Please, question.
My question is that as we all know that the old farmers do have experience, but they lack educational knowledge, whereas the young students, they do have the knowledge, they have the education about this field, but they don't have experience. What can we do to overcome this?
And this is a problem. The one who has knowledge has no experience. The one who has experience has no knowledge. I mean the latest knowledge. And yeah. Please.
And even both are not ready to cooperate with each other.
That is the point. The experienced is not ready. The experienced person, the experienced farmer is not ready to get benefit from the graduate, and the graduate is not ready to get feedback from the farmer. Because both have the sense of superiority, and they see that the other party is inferior. Excellent. Time is short, so we're skipping that. Now, please question.
Sir, I don't have any question, but I want to add something regarding importing of agriculture machines.
Yeah.
First of all, the tax increased by 300%.
Yeah.
Secondly, our farmers don't know who to contact and what are the procedure of importing a machine like tractor. I know a boy in Sargodha, he recently imported tires from India.
Yeah.
There are another issue of spare parts.
Yeah.
If someone imports a tractor which is very expensive, or any other agriculture machine which are expensive, he don't have spare parts, then there is another issue of spare parts.
Yeah, excellent. No?
These are the issues related to importing of agriculture machines.
The latest machine you're talking about. The latest machine know that how to import. There's no proper counseling, there's no proper institution, there's no proper that you can say platform. Again, even though there's no education now that. Even we have no awareness of that how can know that the latest machinery can be imported now, and it cannot be made over there in a country because our engineers are running after Naib Tahsildar Nokri. They are running after the job. Constable, yeah. So that's a great. What a question, really important point. Now you have raised. Love you, my son. MashaAllah. Please.
Nowadays, many people talk about the problem of the farmers, but they don't try to solve the problem of the farmers.
Yeah, you keep highlighting the problems, the issues, but none is there, to give solution, the practical solution,
So many farmers are protesting here.
Yeah.
So, nothing is done by our deputy commissioners and our government. So what should we do?
Even in India, it happened. That the Sikhs, they agitated, protested. They protested against the government. That they were using their tractors and trolleys and all these things. Yeah, and same thing is happening in our country. Please.
As we know that many people or many farmers are going from farming, what steps government should take to involve them in farming? And my second question is that as farmers know the natural fertilizer are good for farming and artificial are not good for farming, and why they mostly farmers select artificial farming and used to artificial farming even how they are so expensive, why they use too much artificial fertilizers.
Really impressive. Great question. Really impressive. No answer today. The time is short. Please, the question, Hassan.
We mostly listen to the news channels that
as Mr. Fahad said that government is giving the subsidy, but as I am an engineer, I've done my 16 years education, and like Mr. Ahmed, like he is a farmer, he is cultivating his crops. I also want to do my cultivation. My father have a lot of acres, but there is no water. Why the government don't give the solution of the water? Why they have no canal towards us? I am going abroad for higher studies because there is no job, but I have a passion to cultivate our crops, to cultivate my field. But due to some superiority and the power of people and the ego, we have the canal there, but there is no water from years. So why the government is not giving the solution instead of subsidy?
Excellent, great.
Can I, sir?
No.
The solution is only dam.
Yeah,
storage tank.
that is.
Because when flood there is a lot of water and that flood damages our crop. And when there is you can say there is no water or land become dry.
Yeah.
So only solution is
agriculture.
Construction of dams.
Yes, sir.
Agriculture doesn't mean that you only have to cultivate the crop. There is also a mean of rearing the goats and animals.
Yeah.
So if you don't have canals or don't have water, you can rear animals there and you can take profitable.
That has also some problem in that, but we should discuss in the No, time is not. Please, question.
There is problems of canal water in my areas.
Yeah, that is the network of that canal system in Pakistan. But in your area, there is no such system now. So is government that thinking about that to spread that canal system in order to make that more lands that cultivable? That's the question.
Sir, government is nowadays totally unstable.
Yeah.
So they are not working on our agriculture sector. They are hardly meet the irrigation of fertile land. So they are not focusing on the lands which are infertile.
So that is why we are going to close our session at that the government is not serious. The government is not serious now to take care of these farmers, and these farmers have a lot of experience, but the NGO is not ready to get benefit from him. No, because that he thinks that he has a lot of land. The farmer, he thinks that he has a lot of experience, that he knows more because he has a practical work. And over there, that this person is not ready to listen to him, and the result is that this man who can get a lot of information from him, the latest information which Faizan was talking about, even that a lot of machinery can be imported that a lot of technology can be gained from abroad but as he is not ready to listen to him, or he is unable to make him listen to him, so the result is failure. And the government is enjoying. The government know that in power, everybody in government know that whatever the form that is enjoying the power on the poor farmers, and the result is that the whole nation is suffering. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.